Let's do.
I hope. Just to kind of start off, kind of an easy one. How's Purdue treating you so far? You feel like you're getting acclimated pretty quick?
Sure. And as long as you're coaching, I've been in it for 22 years, so you kind of get acclimated pretty quick to your new environment.
I mean, is it kind of a challenge starting a new job on the fly when, obviously you've been here a couple months, but
No, it is, but it helps to have worked with Gary before, because the offense is very similar to what we ran before. So the things that we want to teach and how we teach it, we're all on the same page with it. So with that regard, it's very good.
Yeah, the next thing I was going to ask you is, what made this kind of a comfortable move?
Working with Gary and Danny again. I didn't work with Danny, but I recruited with him and I knew him. And I came here when I was coaching with Gary at UTEP. I came here and worked at camp, and so I kind of knew what the environment was like and things of that nature. So it was a very easy transition.
What do you try to bring to the table as a coach? I mean, what's your style, so to speak? Anything you emphasize over other things, or
just
personality type?
Being competitive, being physical, understanding your assignment, being a very technical person. That's the important part. Knowing your assignment and how to execute it, and being very physical in playing that position is critical, in my opinion.
Based on what you've watched of the guys you're coaching from last year, is there anything you're emphasizing this spring in particular that perhaps you saw or the other coaches told you about?
Just being more disciplined. Being more disciplined in how they run their routes, being more physical in the blocking aspect of it, and just understanding a little bit more about the game of football and how it relates to what they have to do down in and down out.
I don't know if anybody really expected that Keith Smith back, but he was a pretty prominent guy from a leadership perspective. All the guys you have back, I don't know how much actual game experience you have with a lot of those guys. I mean, anybody emerging yet as a leader for your group?
That's too early to tell. So we're waiting. You kind of don't want to force anybody to be a leader. You want someone to come up and take that role. So hopefully, as the spring progresses, there'll be someone that actually will step forward. But being a leader is not necessarily being a guy on the field, but it's what you do off the field as well that is very critical in leading by example in the classroom and in a community and those areas like that. To me, show more leadership than just doing it on the field.
Through this first week of practice, actually working with these guys hands-on, has there been anybody you've worked with where you said, hey, this kid's pretty good? Anybody really impressed you?
I think they all can play a very vital role, and they all have shown flashes of doing things very well, but then they also flashes that they don't do things very well. So that's the thing we're trying to overcome, is to make sure that the consistency of being excellent is there every day.
Justin Stiller didn't move to receiver until last year, and then he spent half his year basically dabbling as a quarterback. He was hurt for a lot of the year. I mean, I think Coach Norwood just said he's really starting to look like a receiver now. I mean, you don't have a lot of frame of reference with him, but do you see that proverbial light coming on?
I think so. He's playing with a little more passion, a little more intensity, and he's being more physical. He's using his size. He's a great big receiver, and there shouldn't be a guy that he shouldn't be allowed physical as a defensive back. So once he learns to play to his strength, and I think he's doing that now, he'll be a good receiver.
Is there any overlying common denominator, anything like that, with your receivers core that's gonna, don't want to say define it, but is there anything among all those guys that might be the collective strength of that group?
I think the thing that we want to define us and that we're going to try to do is being very disciplined in how we run routes and being very physical in our style of play. And that's the thing that we're going to really try to hang our hat on.
I just want to ask you real quick, anything jump out to you so far about Charles Woodrow? Obviously, he's not a guy a lot of people have seen yet because he hasn't played.
Actually, Chuck did a really nice job in the scrimmage on Saturday. Big, strong kid, again, very, very similar to Justin Stiller, and he works hard. He's progressing very well. So this spring is going to be critical for him, and we're going to get him more reps.
Sounds good.